speaker of the day, DTM Devlal, who is a former Division H director and who is a Toastmaster since 2006 and the founder president of Humoroids Club. He's a head of learning in an MNC in Abu Dhabi. It is his L1 P1 speech called The Compost Pile. I am waiting to hear from him.
But
And
before
he's
that, you should
evaluate-
your thing. Yeah.
And the evaluator for DTM Katra, DTM Devlal is Dr. Katra. Can you please tell me?
Good evening to one and all.
objectives?
Now, for icebreaker, something in which you know someone more. The thing is, from Toastmasters' point of view, we all know Dave. The number of projects he's done is, I think, more than the number of years you're born, since you're born. But I think this will be a chance for us to know Dave, the non-Toastmasters Dave, hopefully. Best of luck. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Katra.
Is your timing 4 to 6?
4 to 6.
His timing is 4 to 6 minutes.
Welcome, DTM Dev. Over to you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not stand before you as a motivational speaker or as a beacon of hope. I'm pretty much here to talk about my life until now, which oddly resembles the farm to table journey of a bunch of vegetables. And when you speak about vegetables, I know that some of you must have already imagined, visualized a certain vegetable in your mind. Hold it, it's not just one vegetable, it's a bunch of vegetables. The first stage, the toddler stage. How is this? Cabbage. Any takers for cabbage here in the room? Any fans of cabbage? Okay, I'm sure that the entire world is kind of divided into two. The ones who like and the ones who like not. I was like this, kind of round, dense, with questionable appeal. And I'm pretty sure that my parents looked into this thing, wrapped up in clothes and wondered, like, what are we going to do with this? And over a period of years, I should also remind you, the smell, especially, during those diaper incidents. I don't really think my parents spent any money on diapers in those days, especially. I'm sure they must have managed that to just close the newspaper. And from that day, I moved on from the toddler to the next stage. I'm not sure if I should hold it like this or like this because I was in my teens. No pun intended. Do you know that technically speaking, this is a fruit? The eggplant is a fruit and not a vegetable. And my life was the same because I was kind of stuck in between that adolescent wanting to become an adult kind of stage. And another problem with an eggplant is that it's very fragile fruit. Just like my ego when I was a teenager. Every time my crush, the prettiest girl in the class, destroyed my ego. Sometimes it's better to be insulted rather than being ignored. Have you ever felt that way? Happened to me all the time. Partially maybe because I had such style choices as a teenager. So my ego was bleeding blue and black. Nothing much to talk about the teenage life. And I moved on. So what happens when you move on from the teenage life into the college life? The zucchini. I was a zucchini in college. And what does that mean? How many of you are takers of zucchini? Just 1, 2. I wish there were more hands when I was in college. Because zucchini, I'm sure all the ladies can relate to it, it sort of thrives because it is thrown into almost everything. Salad, no problem. Sauteed vegetables, why not? Soup, oh yeah. The problem with zucchini is that it doesn't have any identity. It's like, throw it anywhere. It's so bland and tasteless, and so I was kind of tossed around a lot. I wanted to belong to something. I wanted to have my own identity. I wanted to be everything to everybody. I ended up as toast. But my studies went for a toast. My finance was shredded. And my ego, which is already being blue and black, that was sliced. And so it was kind of that, overused. Like those vegetables you have in your fridge, at the bottom of it ends up mushy and useless, and you throw that away. Step aside, youth. This is me as an employer. A cauliflower. I will not even ask how many of you are fans of this. Bland, overworked, and I tried to be trendy and cool, but all it did, all those meetings drained my soul. I was overworked. I was moody, grumpy, forced and awkward. That was me as an employee. And a lot of people can sometimes relate to that, especially if you have been in an organization like where I started my career. Moving on to the spouse stage. You know what this thing is, right? Intense, pungent. All you need is a little bit, and it leaves that lingering smell. So if you ask my partner, she will probably the same. Very useful in moderation, but a little too much of that is kind of tough. Because there are layers to it, just like a garlic. And the problem is when you peel back those layers, especially me, the garlic, people end up crying or at least mildly irritated. But I prefer to call myself a bit useful, at least, take out the trash from the kitchen. And finally, what does that make of me? All these vegetables, finally, all the way from cabbage to garlic, you just put that into some place, all of it. It starts to rot, and all those awkward moments, all those mistakes finally will start rotting and becomes vaguely meaningful, like a compost pile. I'm pretty much like a human salad bar. Sarcasm, dark humor, mistakes, awkward moment, diaper incidents, all that. But pretty much, that's life. Life is what you make of it, even if you smell a little funky. Okay.
Thank you, DTM Dev. That was an amazing story of life and its analysis. I really loved it.